Hi, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a simple 3D text with Inkscape. If you have not installed the free open source Inkscape, you can follow my video on how to install Inkscape. I have included the video link below, or you can follow my channel Do It 8. You can also click on the eye icon on top right. Before we get started, let us reset Inkscape to default value. Make sure you have run Inkscape at least once. If your Inkscape is open, close it or exit the software. Launch your Internet Explorer from the taskbar. Navigate to your C drive, then go to Users, your username, app data, roaming and the Inkscape folder. Look for the file preferences XML and delete it. This will reset Inkscape to default value. Then restart your Inkscape software and Inkscape will create a new preference file. Now we are ready to start the project. I'm going to remove the page border to have a bigger canvas to work with. Go to File menu and click on Document Properties or Shift-Control-D on your keyboard. The Document Properties dialog box pop up. Untick on the Page Border checkbox and then click X to exit. Next, click on the Enable Snapping Tool icon on the top right to disable it. Now click on the Create and Edit Text Objects tool icon or letter T on your keyboard. Click on your canvas and type your text. Now to change your font. For this trick to work, fonts with straight lines works best. Go to Select Font Family drop-down arrow, and search for Agency FB. Or type Agency FB when you press Alt-X on your keyboard. Then change to the biggest font size. Click on the Select and Transform Objects tool icon or letter S on your keyboard. Your text will have double arrow on every side indicating it's selected. To show grid, go to View menu and click on Page Grid. Next, click on one of the corner double arrow to resize the text. Use the grid as a guide to resize your text and for text adjustment later. Once you have resized your text, we will change the text to path. Go to Path menu and click Object to Path or Shift-Control-C on your keyboard. Then go to Object menu and click on Ungroup or Shift-Control-G on your keyboard. The selected text group changes to individual selected text. Click on an empty space on the canvas to unselect the individual text. Click on one of the individual texts to move it closer to each other. Use the grid as a guide to move your selected individual text. Click on the double arrow to resize the text. Repeat these steps for the remaining texts. Once you have moved and resized the texts, we are going to reshape the letter T. Select the letter T and click on the Edit Paths by Nodes icon or letter N on your keyboard. The double arrow selection on letter T changes to diamond shape selection nodes. Then select the Fill and Stroke icon or Shift-Control-F on your keyboard. The Fill and Stroke Properties dock open. Change the opacity to half the value. Press Shift and plus key to zoom in and minus key to zoom out. Then center your workspace with the right and bottom scroll bar or with your mouse scroll wheel. With the diamond shape node highlighted in red, click and drag the node to reshape the letter. Use the grid as a guide to reshape the letter. Once you are done with the reshape, zoom out and change the opacity back to 100%. Then click the Select and Transform Objects tool icon or letter S on your keyboard. Click and select the entire text. Go to the Object menu and click Group or Ctrl-G on your keyboard. Now go to Edit menu and click Duplicate or Ctrl-D on your keyboard to make a duplicate of your text. Now move the duplicate text down and right to make it look like a shadow. Once you are happy with the placement, create another duplicate from the duplicated text. Now change the second duplicate text color from the color palette icon to differentiate from the duplicate. This next part is tricky, please follow carefully. Press Alt key on your keyboard and click on the blue text to select the duplicate text below and release. Make sure the fill selection changes from blue to unset. Then press Shift key and click on the original text and release. The fill selection changes from unset to unset. Now go to Object menu and click on Ungroup or Shift-Ctrl-D on your keyboard. Individual letters are selected now. Next go to Path menu and click Union or Ctrl+ on your keyboard. Then select Edit Paths by Nodes icon or letter N on your keyboard. The double arrow selection changes to diamond shape selection nodes. Zoom in using Shift and plus key on your keyboard for finer details. The middle node turns red when you hover the mouse over it. Click to select and press Delete key to delete the node. The node handle turns red when you hover the mouse over it. Click and drag the blue line node handle back to its node. To make this process easier, go to View menu and uncheck the page grid. Then click on the Enable Snapping tool icon on your right. Now drag the other node handle back to the node. This time the node handle snap to the node like magnet. Continue these steps with the rest of the straight line nodes. Use the vertical and horizontal scroll bar to center your workspace. Once you have done with all the straight line nodes, we'll focus on the curve line nodes next. The curve line nodes are more of a try and error to get closed to perfect effect. Select and delete one of the nodes to see if the effect is desirable. To undo any steps you can press Ctrl-Z on your keyboard. You can move the node handle to change the shape of the curve. You can also move the nodes around to change the path and shape. Continue with these methods with the rest of the curve nodes. Delete and adjust the nodes accordingly to get the desired effect. Once you are done with all the nodes adjustments, zoom out or press minus key on your keyboard. Click on the Select and Transform Objects tool icon or letter S on your keyboard. Clear selection by clicking the empty space on canvas. Click on the color text to select. Now go to Object menu and click Ungroup or Shift-Ctrl-G on your keyboard. Clear selection by clicking the empty space on canvas. Click on the first letter and pick color from the color palette at the bottom. Repeat these steps for the rest of the letters. Then click and select all the letters. Go to Object menu and click Group or Ctrl-G on your keyboard. To export your file, go to File menu and click Export PNG Image or Shift-Ctrl-E on your keyboard. The Export PNG Properties dock open. Enter your file name and the location to save. Finally, click Export to export your file. Thank you for watching. If you like my video, please give a like below. Please subscribe to my channel for more video and leave a comment.